Hi everyone. In this sequence today I'm going to use the wall as a prop, but we start sitting cross-legged. So you can have the feet under the knees, or you can sit more in a Siddhasana, and then you bring the knees to the floor or one foot on top of the other leg. Find a nice position where you can stretch the whole spine, placing the hands on your heart, and take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale through your mouth. Let go. Inhale again and exhale through the mouth. Release. One more time. Deep inhale through the nose and exhale. Let go all the things you don't need in this class. A few more breaths to connect here with yourself. Maybe setting an intention for this practice. And then bring your hands in a namaste in front of your chest. And we start with 3 ohms. So inhale. Bring your hands back on top of your knees, open your eyes and inhale, bring the chin up and exhale, chin to the chest. Inhale, look up again and exhale, bow your head to your heart. Few more, warming up the neck here. Do it softly and coming back to center, and then look over one shoulder, come back to center and change sides through center, looking over the other shoulder, changing sides. One more. Coming back to center and then bringing one ear towards one shoulder. So keep the shoulders low. Come back to center and then bring one ear to one shoulder, coming back and changing sides. One more. And come back to center. Then place the hands on the shoulders and roll the shoulders. You have this natural side, so also go the other way around. And from here we are going to make a twist. So place one hand on the opposite shoulder and the other arm goes around the back. So I exhale to one side, inhaling to the other side. Make it a fluid movement, warming up the body here a little bit. And coming back to center. And maybe choosing the other side to exhale and go to the side. One hand on the opposite shoulder, the other arm goes around the back, and I'm twisting from my waist. I keep my spine long and keep it a fluid movement. And then I'm coming back to center. On my inhale, I take my arms up, and on my exhale, I twist to one side. So the palm of the hand is on the outside of the opposite knee, and the other hand goes to the back. Inhale, come back to center. Inhale, lift the arms up, and exhale, twist to the other side. One hand on the opposite knee, palm looking up or down, and that other hand behind you, And inhale, coming back. Make fists and then spread the fingers away. Thumb can be on the outside or on the inside as you like. And then circle the hands, loosening up the wrists here and go the other way around. And then shake it a little bit out. Okay, come into your tabletop position. If you sit on a cushion, then remove it. Knees under the hips, flat hands on the mat. And on your exhalation, you round the spine. On your inhalation, you look forward, opening in the chest. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch a little bit. Make your cat and cow. So really round the spine on your exhalation. And then tuck your toes under. Keep the knees bent before you stretch yourself away in this downward dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. You can bring the weight a little bit more on the toes and then push yourself back. Shoulders away from the wrists. You can place the hands a little bit wider if you want. Make a nice V shape. And then bring your knees to the floor. Dive to our upper dog. Tuck the toes under and push back to a downward dog. Variation of a Surya Namaskar. Looking forward. Place one foot between the hands and then come up for your Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. Stretch the arms up and then exhale, come down again. Push yourselves back to that downward dog and take a breath here. Again, knees to the floor, come to your upper dog. Tuck your toes and go back to that downward dog. Then it's the other foot you're placing between the hands. Front knee is bent. Come up into your Warrior One. You can look up if you want. And then inhale, exhale. Place the hands on both sides of that foot. And step back to that downward dog. And come down to a child pose. So sit with your buttocks onto your heels. Long spine. Hands can be on the mat if you want, or you can place your lower arms on the mat. Feels good for you to do here. Come up, so tuck your toes under again. Down a dog. And then you can walk your dog. Onto your toes. Come a little bit forward. And find your dog. And then knees on the floor. And we are going for that Surya Namaskar again. Upper dog. Tuck the toes, down a dog. Place one foot forward. Inhale, come up into your Warrior One variation. Find your balance. On your exhale, place both hands on the mat. Step back, down a dog. Then come with your knees, dive and come into your upper dog. Tuck the toes, push back to a down dog, and then it's the right foot between the hands and lift all the way up to your Warrior One. And then come to the lateral side of the mat. My feet are in the small side of the mat. My feet are looking a little bit out. I'm going to make a skater movement, and I'm using the arms. I'm twisting one arm to the outside of the opposite bent knee. So a little bit of movement in the whole body, in the spine, getting a little bit warmer here. Stretch the legs up, place your hands on your waist, long spine, and we are going to bend forward for our Prasarita Padottanasana. So the feet, I let my toes look a little bit more in here. See where it feels good for you. You can stay on your hands, on your fingertips, or you can bring the lower arms onto the floor. You can keep your knees a little bit bent. So find a nice position where you can stay for a few breaths. stretch on the back side of the legs. Keep the hips in line with the back of the ankles. Coming back by placing the hands on the mat, feet a little bit closer towards each other to a hip width. And then bend the knees a little bit. And then roll yourselves all the way up. You can shake it a little bit out. I'm hoping you're a little bit warmer now. And from here we are going to place the mat with the small side towards the wall. I'm using a block, and we had this Warrior One in our Surya Namaskar. I'm going to explore it a little bit more with my block. So I place my toes towards the plinth, and I place the block between my knee and the wall. So the front knee is bent in a 90-degree angle. I'm on my toes on the back foot, and then I come into my Warrior One. So I can stabilize here a little bit more because that block with my knee, I'm pushing that block into the wall. Maybe I can make it in a small back bend here. Find a nice position for your Warrior One. And then come back and change sides. So now it's the other foot with the toes up to the plinth. The back foot, come onto your toes. Place that block between the knee and the wall. Find the right distance. So I really need to push with that shin into the block so that it's not dropping. Here I find shoulders above the hips, and then I bring my arms up for my Virabhadrasana 1. So I stretch away that back leg, maybe shifting the distance a little bit, and I'm looking up Virabhadrasana 1. And then through the sides I bring the hands down, gripping the block, and then I'm coming to the lateral side for my Warrior 2. So again, I use that block, but you see that my hips are looking to the long side of the mat now. Again, a 90-degree angle in that front leg. Place your hands in a Namaste in front of your chest, shoulders above the hips. Really feel balanced between the front and the back leg. Find your balance here in your Warrior 2. And then slowly come out, place the feet a little bit closer and turn around. So the mat can be pushed away if you're pushing towards the wall with your toes. So the toes are up onto the plinth, front leg is 90-degree angle bend, and I draw that line between my heel and the arch of my back foot. I sink into the pose, the buttocks is looking towards the mat. Maybe replacing that block, placing your hands in a Namaste. Maybe deepen the pose a little bit. And Warrior 2, legs. Breathe. And then grip that block and slowly come out. Okay, the same warrior I'm going to do with the heel to the wall. So I find a nice distance between the two legs. And I push with that back heel into the wall. Now I find that I have the right distance, shoulders above the hips. Make a nice 90-degree angle in that leg, and look over your front hands and sink into your Warrior 2. Virabhadrasana 2. You can use the back fingers on the wall as a reference. And inhale, come back. Come a little bit closer, turn around. And we do the same thing. So Warrior 2, with the back heel towards the wall. We open up our hips towards the long side of the mat. front foot is in line with the arch of the back foot, 90-degree angle in that front knee, front leg, hands in a namaste, or using the back wall to balance in and to sink into the pose. Look over that front hand that is going over the bent knee. Maybe adjusting the distance, maybe going a little bit deeper. Just find your warrior two for today. Find the help of the back leg pushing into the wall, stability, but also getting more awareness in that back leg. Slowly come back up out of the pose. Shake it a little bit out if you want. And then we are going to do the warrior one with the heel high to the wall or onto the plinth, as you like. Find a nice distance. Hips are looking to the small side of the mat again. Bend the front leg in a 90-degree angle. Sink into your warrior one. And then bring the arms up. And maybe make it in a small back bend. Looking up towards the hands. Stretch the fingers away. Feel the stretch in that back leg. And the help of the wall, and bring your hands down. Slowly come back. Let your front foot be on the mat. Just change so then you know the right distance between the back foot and the front foot. Stay balanced here. So back heel is going up to the plinth or to the wall. Bend your front knee. Buttocks is looking towards that back heel. Inhale, bring the arms up. Sink into your warrior and look up. Sometimes there is a difference between right and left. Accept it, sense it, observe it. Breathe and exhale. Arms down and slowly come out of the pose and shake it a little bit loose. So we can also use our wall for our melted heart. So I place the feet almost as wide as the mat. Toes are looking a little bit in. I stretch my legs up. My elbows are going a little bit more to the sides. Hand palms are together. And then I just slide a little bit lower with my arms. And feeling length in the whole spine. A small back bend here. So keep the buttocks rolled towards the heels to protect your lower back. No clenching in the buttocks, and just stay for a few breaths. It's an intense pose. It feels really nice. The belly is soft. Breathe into those shoulders. And then slowly come back, maybe bending the knees a little bit. And if you want, you can always shake it out. Place the feet a little bit closer. Just feel the effects for a moment. Neutralize the spine. Before we're going for our next one, we use the wall for our down dog. And first I start with my hands towards the wall. So I push with my thumb and index finger towards the wall. So I use the wall to push myself back. Aiming of bringing the heels towards the mat, finding a nice V shape. My spine is nice and long. And my ears are between my arms. I keep on breathing. Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. And slowly walk yourself a little bit closer. Come onto your knees and then cross the legs and turn around. Now we are going to place the heels high up to the wall, so my toes are bent. And from here, I stretch myself in that downward dog. So you see my hips are super high. My spine is nice and long. I feel more weight on my hands, so I really push with my thumb and index finger into the mat. I spread my fingers to use the whole hands, and I push back from the heel of my hand so that my arms are stretched, my ears between my arms. Stay here for a few breaths. Feel a nice stretch in the spine, but also in the back of the legs. And coming out of the pose, bend your knees and come into a child pose, buttocks towards the heels, knees open or closed if that feels better in the lower back. Elbows can be bent on the floor, or you can stretch the arms away, or you can place them besides your body if you want. Just feel the sensations of the standing poses. Where do you feel the stretch or any other thing you can observe here? Become aware what is happening in the body. And soft in and exhalation. A few more breaths here. Restore pose, the child pose. And then slowly come back out of the pose. Maybe rolling the shoulders, circling the hands. And then we are going to move the mat back. And then we are going to use the wall for some poses where we are going to lay down with our back on the mat. So I'm using a belt now. I'm sitting sideways to the wall, and then I bring my legs up to the wall. My buttock is towards the wall. I bend one leg into a half lotus, so I bring that foot towards my groin, and then I lay down on the floor again. I can open my arms to the side or bring them over my head. I can also place that hand on that bent upper leg, maybe giving it a little bit weight. The leg that is up the wall, you can flex the foot, or you can soften there. You can massage your upper thigh. So find a nice half lotus position and breathe. Nice opening in the chest here. Shoulders, roll them towards the floor. Always interesting, this wall poses. Change sides. So first come to the middle and then bend the other leg. Bring that foot towards your groin. Depends on your flexibility, how far you can bring it. So you can use one hand to give a little bit of weight towards that bent leg. Or you can just place both hands to the sides with the hand palms up or down or over your head. Foot on the wall can be flexed, but you can also drop it. Stay here for a few more breaths. Really nice pose. And then bend your knees towards you. You can wiggle a little bit from right to left before we go to the next pose. Next is Baddha Konasana. So the soles of the feet are together. You can bring them high or closer to your perineum as you like. Again, you can place your hands on your upper thighs to give it a little bit weight and a little bit more of a stretch. But you can also choose to open up the arms to the sides or overhead. Feel a nice opening in the chest. And just sink into the pose. Feel the stretch opening in the groins. Belly is soft. I open my feet here like a book, but you can also press in the soles of the feet to feel a little bit more of an opening in the growings. Few more breaths. Maybe placing the hands over your head now. Nice soft pose, supported by the wall and by the floor, by the ground. So you can stay here as long as you want. From here we are going to a Janusasana variation, so bend one knee again, and now that foot is going more to the inner side of the leg. The other leg you can open to one side. Janusasana is a seated pose. Here I do it on the floor, and in this variation I choose to stretch my arms over my head. So I just let gravity do its work. Feel that stretched leg coming a little bit closer to the floor when I let go. So I use the breath and the exhalation to sink a little bit deeper into the pose. Just let it happen, whatever happens. We're using our own weight here. And then slowly come back and change sides. Bend the other knee, foot is in the growing of the opposite leg, and the stretched leg is a little bit more open to the side. Arms can be overhead or to the sides. And just breathe into the pose. And connect with the breath. And observe sensations, the stretch and the growing. Maybe you feel that leg by gravity coming a little bit lower, or the opening in that other growing is a little bit deeper. Always find your own stretch, not overdo. And slowly come back out. Place the feet on the wall again. Maybe if you are a little bit more away from the wall, come back. So by lifting the buttocks and placing the feet on the wall, you can come a little bit closer. And we are going for a Tafista Konasana. You can use your belt here. So you have a big loop in it, and bring it around the ankles, and then adjust the loop. You can use it to not have the legs open too far. So you feel that you have a nice resistance and still the opening and stretch in the whole legs. Arms can be to the sides or over your head with hand palms down or up as you like. And also here we stay in the pose using gravity, and in this case using the belt to help us. We are not going too deep in the pose, and we're feeling a nice stretch and a nice sensation. Few more breaths here. Breathe nice and soft into your belly. Feel a nice open chest. Really nice restore pose, calming down body and mind. You want to come out early of poses, always do. I really love this pose, especially when I have this belt. And then slowly come back, bend your knees, remove that belt, and you can wiggle a little bit from right to left. And then we go for our Viparita Karani. So now I'm stretching both legs up to the wall. And then I let gravity do its work. So you will feel at some point that the legs are going more into the hip socket. Also see that your head and neck are nicely placed. You can always replace the head. Open up the arms to the sides. And your hands, their fingers have the natural curling. This is a good pose to do if you have trouble getting into sleep. So it calms body and mind down. So if you have your bed against the wall, you can take this position. Do it for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes before you really want to go to sleep. It calms your body and mind down, and it's a delicious pose. It slows down our nervous system. It's a calming pose. Viparita Karani in Sanskrit. And we use the Sanskrit for the poses. It's easy because wherever you go around the world, they will use the same names for the poses, one language, one yoga. Slowly come out of the pose. If you want to wiggle a little bit, you can come a little bit away, so you can make the movement a little bit bigger, massaging your lower back. And then roll to one side to slowly come out of your pose. I'm replacing my mat again for my Savasana, but you don't have to do it. You can just lay down back on your back, then you have to push yourself away from the wall. See that your spine is nicely placed, stretching out the legs. Have some space between the feet, and open also the arms a little bit away from the trunk. Shoulders towards the floor. Replace your head if necessary, rolling the shoulders to the mat. Maybe taking a deep inhale and exhaling, release. With one more time, take a deep inhale and exhale. Let everything go. So the eyes are softly closed, touching, non-touching like a Buddha. Your forehead is soft, the jaws are soft, and your tongue is laying in the lower palate. Feel the support of the ground. Neck and throat are soft, shoulders are heavy, the legs are heavy. Hands, your fingers have their natural curling. And also let go in the legs and in the feet. If you need, you can take again a nice deep in and exhalation. Letting go. And then focus on the breath. Natural inhalation and natural exhalation. You can stay with the breath. And this is a moment where you don't have to do absolutely nothing. So I will be silent for a moment before I bring you back. And then slowly start to breathe a little bit deeper, bringing your attention more back in your body, in this space. Maybe you want to wiggle with your fingers and your toes a little bit, stretching your whole body out. And you can hug your knees in, rock a little bit from side to side. You can make a Nice twisting movement to wake the body up, and then roll to one side and come back up into a sitting position. You will close here. So place your hands on your heart, long spine. Check in with yourself. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, twist to one side. Inhale, exhale, come back to center. And inhale, arms up again, and twist to the other side. Long spine. Inhale, exhale, come back to center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, cross the lower arms, chin to the chest, and hug yourself in. Opening the elbows to the sides. Place your hands on your heart again. Inhale, exhale, bow your head to your heart, to yourself, and the yoga tradition. Thank yourself for taking the time today to do this yoga practice. Being in the moment, accepting what is, and observing. On your next inhale, slowly lift your head and open up your eyes. Thank you for joining. Namaste.